Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of the Dope Sessions podcast. My name is Kelvy, and as always, I got some special guests with me. And for this episode, I wanted to do something special. I wanted to do an album review for the Microphone Misfits. They just released an EP called Anime Midwest. The reason why I wanted to do this particular album review and bring on these special guests that I have is because not only are these guys great artists and just genuine people, but I know that they are fans of anime as well, and I just wanted to chop it up with them. For those that don't know about the Microphone Misfits, they are a underground hip hop group from Chicago. They are really like the first hip hop group that every time they drop an album, they have a series of albums called Escape from Babylon. They release 4 of these albums, and every time they release an album, there's a comic book that comes with the album as well. And this Anime Midwest EP is them just kind of doing their tributes to 4 anime shows that they genuinely love. So they have tribute songs for Gatchaman. They have tribute songs for Cowboy Bebop, Speed Racer, and Lupin the Third. So before we get into the review, I want to introduce the 2 awesome gentlemen that's with me right now, Austin and Phonz. What's up, guys?
Hello. Thank you for
Hey,
having
what's
me.
up?
It's Austin.
Thank you for having me on the Dope Sessions podcast.
Oh,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem. No
Phonz,
problem.
It is
aka
going
Peace
to be a
King,
dope session for sure.
as always.
Yes, sir.
So so Fonz, what
Yep.
give me your overall what did you think of the Anime Midwest EP from the Microphone Misfits?
Okay. So my overall is just wow. Like how do I explain like how do I explain like a nice dope 70s, 80s, 90s feel, just from the way they use the instruments, from the way they use from the way they utilize not only just their instruments but their voices, the samples. Just it is great, absolutely freaking great. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. And Austin, what did you think?
Man. Bro, when I tell you, I probably listened to this thing, I'd say 20 times over the last few days.
I'm just saying.
Anytime I throw it on, it's on repeat until I turn it off. Like,
Yeah.
it's really, it's a great project. I'm with Phonz. It get a smooth 4 out of 5.
Exactly. Like, I just want to bring this up first. Like, mind you, it's extremely short. I feel like it robs you because of how short it is. It's only what?
Yes, and that's why
almost
it's not a 5
8-9
out of
minutes?
5. And that's why it's not a 5.
Like, you see, again, I know it's an EP. I know it's supposed to be usually the short definition of an EP, but let's be absolutely real. If they threw on a couple more tracks, I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't have complained a bit. It
Again,
still would have my attention, and it still probably would have got played as many times.
Mhm.
Exactly. Just with how they introduced each track. Like, let's go with if you don't mind me starting it with Gatchaman.
Anomalies, outsiders, and outliers with no desire to cater to what you acquire.
Just like, yo, first, the way the production is on this, it gives you that feel like they're actually, playing instruments and everything. And I'm just like, if they were, thank you. I didn't know I needed that.
Oh yeah, if someone brought me to this or brought me this project that song specifically and was like, none of this was sampled, I'd be like, okay.
Right.
I believe it.
Okay.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
And
You know, like
It's very well done.
I really I from top to bottom love this project. But I also want to the the leader of the group, his name is D-Nick. I actually had did an interview with D-Nick on one of the episodes of the Dope Sessions podcast. So if you guys want to check that out, y'all can go back and check that episode out too. But just was introduced to D-Nick from a mutual friend, and then me and him just became like really cool. And the one thing that I always like, and I really enjoy the Microphone Misfits projects. The one thing that I've personally always told him, and he knows, is that I've like sometimes like the kind of like, because I always tell him that they remind me of like groups like Jurassic 5 and
yes,
and
that
and sometimes like it's like I can like, if for some reason it's like I can take a little bit of it, but not like a whole project. But they manage on their projects to not like
overstay their welcome.
Oh yeah, overstay
That's
the
a
welcome.
great way to word that.
Yeah, and with this project, I loved it. The only song that I would probably say that I didn't like much, and it may be maybe because I'm not really like, I'm familiar with Gatchaman, but I haven't like fully invested in watching Gatchaman. And although I think it's a dope song, it really didn't resonate with me. But it also made me want to like actually watch Gatchaman. But like my favorite, like I love Cowboy, I love Race Against Time, the Speed Racer tribute. But my favorite track on there, hands down, is Lupin the Third.
Look of a gentleman, vibe of a simpleton, thief good enough to steal the cup out of Wimbledon. Well-mannered, sneaky and brave, although he's always out to get laid.
Like that, the way
that
sample.
The way they use it, the way that, like, one of the greatest things about this the Midwest Anime EP is how they tell their story, like how they tell the stories of the anime and incorporate their own little tidbits into it. And it's just like, dude, okay, look, I'm just gonna use Gatchaman as the example for this one. How he introducing us not only to the group themselves, but to the show itself. Like, for instance, one of the lines I wrote down for this one, because it kind of stuck out for me, it was so rare to find like-minded individuals that will have your back despite differences in rituals.
So rare to find like-minded individuals that will have your back despite differences in rituals. Multiple souls sharing multiple goals, always playing a part while playing multiple roles.
I'm just like, yo, okay, you got me. But
yes,
you see, and one of the shining points for me for this whole anime EP is that they sprinkle little tidbits like that in each and every song.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just so much flavor in such a short time. And the one thing I wanted to mention as well was how you brought up that they remind you of groups like Jurassic 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing gave me a Jurassic 5 feel with slight flavor, Parliament Funkadelic. Like, I say that because literally just imagine almost any and every one of these tracks on a freaking movie from the 1970s, and it'll fit almost perfectly.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right. Yeah. That was my whole biggest takeaway and praise for this project, was that, all 4 tracks, they sound like if they were to be on the official soundtrack for those anime, it sounds like a track that would be on there. They hit the nail on the head pretty well. I'm sure, I don't know exactly what they were going for, but that's what I took out of it, as if they were trying to make songs that were going on the anime soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that too.
Yeah, so and with that they did it perfectly.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Phonz, that it's like they to me, I think, like, as far as like the Lupin, I think was like the only song where it wasn't like them mixed in with the anime, like you said, giving them tidbits of the anime and giving them tidbits of who they are as a group and everything. Lupin is like the one that's just like straightforward about Lupin the Third, and
Yes.
And when I listened to that song, I was just like, this is exactly Lupin the Third. It's like I like even without like seeing clips from it, it's like I was like, yo, this is exactly everything about Lupin the Third.
Yes. And you see, that's the beauty of these tracks. Like with every track, you don't even have to see it. And I mean, mind you, I've seen bits and pieces from all of them. I've mostly seen Speed Racer, seen all of Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lupin the Third, I still need to watch more because I've seen bits and pieces. Now, Gatchaman, I've never seen. Haven't had a chance to see it. I need to see it now because of this.
Right.
But each track gives you that feel of like, oh, you know what? Let me go watch this. Let me see what this has to offer. Even if it's bad, this song isn't.
Right.
Yeah. Man, it's a great EP. Like I like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I play it like maybe twice a day. Just because I just like I love the music. I love the samples. Like I love.
Oh my God.
I love the way D-Nick and it just raps on these tracks and I agree with you. Like I give it a 4 out of 5, mainly because it is short, and I'm like, man, like
I need more.
Yeah,
I need more.
What other anime do you guys like? Like, come on, like, tell us. Like, you know, it makes you want more, and
right?
I totally
exactly.
Like as Phonz, one of my biggest gripes, period, is like short projects that don't let me get to feel the vibe long enough, as long as I want to, and it's just like I want more.
Exactly.
Where is the deluxe edition?
You see, that's one of my problems with a lot of the stuff that I would do, because I've really been on this EP train for a little bit, and what pisses Austin off when I drop is that I don't drop deluxe versions.
No, it's just that you don't put enough songs on your track list.
Look,
sir.
I keep a bare minimum of 4 to 6. What's wrong?
And
with
I
that?
want about 7 to 8, and I don't see what the issue.
But I digress.
Yes, this isn't about me and you arguing, Fawn.
I understand that, Austin. But
I definitely get that. It's like, because once something is good, like when it's really good, it's like you want more, and it's like, right. I know it's like you have this thing where it's just like, man, I want to say some stuff for later, but it's just like, come on, I want more of it, you know.
And so with this, one of my just one of the things that you said before, the sample work. Oh my freaking goodness. How they chopped some of the beats on this. I was like, hold on. When Cowboy Bebop broke into that nice breakbeat flavor, but it still had the drums of like the old school.
This is my profession, hunt for the right commission. Fugitive, criminal, suckers that don't listen. Whether you need support, enforcer, or recovery, step up, pay the bounty, we are at your luxury. Follow the clues, no sense of ducking me. To get my bottom line, you gotta be my guarantee.
Like, this is why I said it gives me that Parliament Funkadelic feel. Because the drums remind me so much of a 70s style, right? But it's like it's almost like a break beat. And it's just like, wait, whoa. That's how you broke that up? And then freaking the freaking Speed Racer sample.
Look at you all in your field.
That's envy, they mad cause we on their heels.
Recommend you respect the grind.
You racing against me, I'm racing against time. Look at you all in your field.
That's envy, they mad cause we on their heels.
Recommend you respect the grind.
You racing against me, I'm racing against time.
I didn't expect that. Like,
that one's my favorite one.
I love how
that one's my favorite.
The production on that one. Absolutely love the production on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet mercy.
That one's my favorite.
And one more, the Gatchaman, the way he uses the Gatchaman sample on the end of his verses.
More than a click, been essence rip, hold firm my grip, always on the move, but never an ego trip. All hands on deck, we protecting the ship, and if there is concern that one of us will slip, never fear, cause
Oh, bro, look, masterful, just masterful.
Oh yeah. These are people that definitely know what they're doing and know exactly what they were looking for when they were doing it. So,
exactly.
Yes.
I wish I was as good as like executing a vision as they are.
Yeah. I mean, look, I say the same myself in that sense. Cause like for one, I just want to say the one thing I've been listening to the whole time for, and I really haven't heard an issue from, was the mixing. I was like, okay, I'm waiting for something to mess up. But all the beats, plosives were in control. The freaking syllabus was under control. Just like, bro, they know what sound they were going for, and they made sure everything was curated well to where they wouldn't have to worry about that. And I'm just like, bro, look, you had me from the production, the mixing, the lyricism, just everything under the board. The only flaw was the length. I just wanted a couple more songs.
I was so worried. I was like, Phonz actually found a problem with this.
I mean,
look, I know now. Look, and I want to say that Phonz my boy, and I know Phonz to be one of the harshest critics I know. He will sit there and nitpick something and find the flaws, even if he really enjoys it, and not in a bad way or anything, but because that's the type of person he is. He always wants to be upfront and point out flaws where they need to be pointed out. So the fact my boy Phonz is the only gripe, and I'm just trying to express how much weight that holds. That the only reason it's a 4 out of 5 is the length. Yeah. And with that said, and the way that the way that the internet's like attention span is nowadays, and me and Phonz, we're very active in the anime-inspired hip-hop community.
Very much.
Shout out. And that's what I want.
Shout out to Rumble World.
Shout out to Rumble World. Shout out to Rumble Gang.
Yeah, we out here.
That's what I wanted to talk about as well, because before we started getting into the podcast, we were talking about just Callan B, another person that I had on the podcast, like how he just introduced all of us, basically, and how we've been in this group and how we just been communicating and just like sharing our stuff with everybody, and we've we are each other's biggest cheerleaders at this point, man. And and so while I've been in this in this group with you guys, like, this is the first time I had ever heard about anime rap or anime inspired rap. And so so from Phonz and Austin to Toon God to Otaku God and so on, is just like, this is something that's new to me. And although it's new to me, like, it's like I'm finding myself enjoying it so much, because you all bring a different style and a different flavor to it. I like when I listen, because in my mind, when I first heard of anime rap, I was like, honestly, I was like, this is probably gonna be some corny shit, like anime rap, like really, like, not saying that, because a lot of people rap about just different like stuff, especially like stuff we grew up with. But like when I heard y'all stuff, I was just like, man, like, this is some dope shit, man. Like, this is really some dope shit. And like, I think my biggest thing was like, I just kept thinking like, oh, this is gonna be corny. Like, but like, and the reason why I say that is because there's some people that have said that about my stuff, because some people perceive me as a emo, like an emo rapper. And so so I get it on that side too. And then it's just like when I hear something about anime rap, I kind of go back to what, oh man, this is gonna be corny. But like listening to you guys projects and like and this Midwest anime EP, I'm just like, this is some incredible just like hip hop shit right here, man. Like for real.
And you see, like that was kind of, well, my main introduction for everything was like what, almost 4 or 5 months ago now, Austin. Actually, I think it might have been
about
shorter.
About five.
About 5.
It was about February, March, something like that.
Oh yeah, it was March. So well, in March, I recently got introduced to everybody in the group, right?
Mhm.
And at the time, like I was kind of like in the in between of everybody. I was getting to know everything, getting to know the scene, getting to know what I was basically getting myself into, right? And I was just like, okay, so let me get an idea of, what I'll be, dealing with. Because when I joined these guys, I joined them off of a Tune Bar challenge from Savade.
Yes.
Shout out Savade Next Baka. And with that, it was crazy because that was one of the first things that got me introduced to Austin, Homie Gods, shout out Gods, and a few others. And it's just like, now within that time of getting to know everyone, not only have we've just become a collective of our own, a big collective, we become a family. We check on each other every day, make sure we keep up on our works. Like, we are just constantly inspiring each other, whether if it's us doing anime bars, whether if it's just doing regular stuff. We on the ball with it, you feel me?
Right. And keeping each other on each other's toes and et cetera, while I drop stuff off my desk. But yeah, no.
While I slowly grab a sip of water.
Right. But yeah, so me and Phonz, we're in a group called Rumble World, and me and him aren't, we're not the authorities on anime in the group by any means.
We are the newbies.
We are the noobs, which,
Right.
but we're active enough in the scene and the community for me to know that this project belongs in that community. And I've been around and listened to a lot of artists in the community do a lot of different things and figure out what's corny and what's not corny. And this is a sound that the whole community, they're doing it right. They're doing the anime inspiration thing right. Because the biggest thing about everybody going into anime rap is what you said. This is about to be corny. This is about to be, all they're gonna do is rhyme Jotaro with Jotaro. You feel me?
9 times out of 10, you're gonna get bars like this. Probably keep a hand. Bitch, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. Also, my apologies for profanity, but I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. Like,
put him in a box like Nezuko every other bar.
If you're lucky,
right? So,
and you know what? Like, I should say this as well because one of my friends told me to kind of like to get my head around, let's just like anime rap. He said, Kelvy, man, like, he was like, if you listen to your own stuff, you mention a lot of movie references, like,
right.
Man,
he was like, it's the same thing, but he was like, but even in your movie references, he was like, you don't do it in a way to just like, oh, all right, whatever, okay, movie. We know you love movies. I need to go with this movie, right? He was like, you equate it to something that's going on in your life, or what, like the situations that's going around and all this other stuff. And so, and that's what I get from you guys. Like when I listen to your music, and that's what makes me like, okay, well, yeah, it's like, it's not corny because it's not like you said, nobody's talking, I'm about to go Super Saiyan. It's like, okay, I've heard that. plenty of
1,000
times.
times.
Yeah, so it's like, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't get that from y'all, and I think that's why it's like to me, it's like I'm more accepting of like, oh man, this is dope. Like even with this anime, this Midwest anime EP is just like I didn't find anything corny about this, like and
Exactly.
and it was just it's like it's perfect, the sample cutting, the just
Ooh, just
the
ooh.
drums, the lyrics, like everything, like you know what I'm saying, it's perfect across the board. Even like I said, the song Gatchaman, like it's a song that like I think it's okay. I don't think it's horrible. I think it's good. I think the rest of the songs are a lot better to me than the Gatchaman song. But like like I said, what it did for me was say, okay, I need to pay attention to Gatchaman now. Now I want to see Gatchaman because I've heard of Gatchaman, but I've like never like paid, never seen any
Right.
episodes. And what it did was I said, okay, well maybe I need to check this out. And then when I check it out and then maybe listen to that song, then maybe it'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Oh,
and now
yeah,
it becomes like dope to me,
Right, and
Yeah.
that's
like one.
go ahead.
You
Go ahead,
first.
Phonz. Oh, okay. So, that's one of those things, as I said, I'm not one of the biggest anime heads that I know. But so when it comes down to that, it's less about, and I'm familiar with every anime but Gatchaman as well. That they, I know a little bit about Speed Racer. I know I've definitely seen all of Cowboy Bebop. I know a little bit about Lupin the Third, but that not knowing much about it brings it to it being the quality of the music and whether or not as a song, regardless of what the song is about, is it a good song? Is the production good? Does it sound good? Are they flowing on the beat correctly? Are they, because they could have the bars but they could be trash on the beat, and it's
Exactly.
if you take out the elements that make it anime, where I said if they told me this wasn't sampled, I would believe it. If someone told me this wasn't an anime inspired tape, with the exception of maybe Lupin the Third or something, I could take this to someone who's just a regular everyday hip-hop head and be like, hey, check this out, let me know what you think, and I feel like they would still enjoy it.
Actually, what's funny about it is you could definitely take this to a lot of the older hip hop heads,
Exactly,
and I guarantee you they're going to love
they're going to appreciate what they were going for. They might not get the anime bars, but you can still obtain that appreciation for the music.
Exactly.
And and I know it's a thing because I'm living proof that that's how it works. If you don't understand, you got to have an appreciation for the music regardless of if you know the anime or not.
Yeah.
Like for instance, one of the things that I'm very much known for is my punchlines. I'm a very big punchline guy. I love to make sure my punchlines always hit somehow.
Yes.
With this album, I had to take a step back and realize, as I was listening to Gatchaman, and I know we've mentioned Gatchaman 1,000 times, but that's the opener. It's the point. Right. It's supposed to introduce you to everything that comes around, right? Mm-hmm. So Gatchaman is a very good opener as far as opening out the album. Now, song wise, it's cool. It introduces you to the group and the feel of everything.
Yes.
And it definitely gets your mind right for what you're about to listen to afterwards. Mm-hmm. So that's why I give it high remarks for that. And as I listened to it, I was just like, wow. Again, even though I'm a punchline dude, I can't really find much of any issues with what he's saying or anything like that. Like, just how he was flowing, the syllables were there, wordplay was there. It was working.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I get what I want to ask too, if you guys can touch on this as well, is when did because it's like I know about nerdcore. But I never knew about this anime rap scene or whatever? Like, when did this actually like start, and why is it like all of a sudden it's taking off into when I had a conversation with D Nick from Microphone Misfits, and I had mentioned Otaku God. He was like, yeah, I know about Otaku God. And I was like, really? Like, he was like, yeah. It was like, I never knew, like, it's like, his name is just like ringing. So what is it about anime rap that's just like got everybody just like paying attention to it now?
Now, I'll be honest with you. Your first question of where it kind of all started, I can't really answer because I'm still learning myself. Like, I personally call myself a anime intern because right now I'm still learning as much as I can. You feel me? But now what has people paying attention to it? Well, for me, like I just have to kind of, well, let me use mine for example. With mine, I'm very much a abstract guy. I like to paint a picture I like to paint a picture and a story using my words, using everything in between, right? So when I use references like, let's see, gaining confidence like Chihiro, Yubaba with the De Niro, so the masterful dragon like my name the Kohaku River, like on stuff like that. Like, I do it in a means to where only a handful of people might get the reference, but it's still accessible to a lot of people where, like, if you heard those bars, you're still, you're still like, oh, okay, he's saying something. I don't quite know what it is, but he's saying something.
Right, because it's all about how you deliver the bars.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with it too, because first of all, because the anime style rap, let's take it back to like Shizzy, right? 6 seconds. He, back in the day when we were all younger, he was running YouTube as like he was the guy for anime raps on YouTube, essentially, as far as my understanding and how I was interpreting things at the time. I didn't watch a lot of anime, but I knew who Shizzy was because of his songs like Naru Flow or like his Dragon Ball Z raps and stuff like that. He was he was popularizing it in the community then. And I think what it was a lot of people were like, oh, this is a cool thing, but maybe someone's already doing it, maybe I shouldn't do it. And then you get more people of a higher caliber and higher quality. You get the worser ones at the beginning trying to get their sound and lift it up. And then with time, things become more accessible to people who are great at these kinds of things. Because 10 years ago, it was a lot harder to get started rapping. Now you can literally do everything you need to do for free and make bangers for nothing.
Exactly.
And also music is such an accessible thing, and I think that's why, because people, a lot of them are talking about how like in school and stuff they were getting bullied for liking anime, and you're like, oh, you're that weird weeb kid with the who wants to wear anime characters all over their clothes, and it's, they need that outlet. So since that outlet is becoming more accessible to the fans of anime, they're able to I don't think express is the word I'm looking for, but they're able to put out and create the content that they've been wanting to create for probably years, but now it's more accessible. So more now the opportunities are there.
I was going to say, maybe more than likely it's them wanting to create the things that relates to them, and it's just so happens that it relates to other people, so people gravitate towards it.
Right.
Like for instance, let's say let's see who can I use? For instance, let's just go with I'm trying to think. One Piece. Let's go with One Piece.
Okay. I like One Piece.
For some reason, there's a lot of One Piece slander because, a lot of episodes to get through, over 900 plus. Let's be real. It's not going to take you your first month to get through it. But when you give it a chance, oh man. And then for those like let's say you did a rap to it and then just drop some gems in between, like on certain characters that you wouldn't get to until you hit certain arcs, right? So it's almost like certain people get it and certain people gravitate towards it because it's like, oh, I know about that dude. I know about that dude. It's something to where everybody can kind of get a feel for it,
Yes.
And then it just makes it easier for everyone to get it. Oh, sorry when I cut you off.
Oh, no, you good.
Okay, I was gonna say, and then it makes it easier for everyone to accept it because it's not just one thing. It's not just Dragon Ball Z rap. It's not just Dragon Ball Super Saiyan raps.
Yeah. It's like you said. It's like the way that it has elevated, and I think like you said, like it starts off one way, and now it's elevated itself to bring to like you guys and Microphone Misfits and Otaku God and Tune God, where it's like it's different because it's like there's something that everybody can like grab onto because they know, like that's why with this project from the Microphone Misfits, it was like I grabbed onto to Cowboy because I'm so invested. Like I still think Cowboy Bebop is one of, if not my favorite anime of all time. Probably it's like tied neck and neck with like Ghost in the Shell. But I love Cowboy Bebop. So when they did that song and I just heard, like when the song comes on, I'm like, okay, I got the theme song vibe going. Okay, so how are they gonna cut this? Like, where are they gonna rap at? And then when the horn section comes on and D-Nick starts rapping, I'm like, yo, okay, like it's something I can grab onto, and plus, I'm invested in that show and those characters. I'm invested in Race Against Time because I'm invested in Speed Racer and those characters. I'm invested in Lupin the Third, and just the masterful way that he's able to tell these stories. And like you said before, tell these stories in the sense of they're giving you tidbits of the show, but also incorporating it with them as a group. And that's one of the things that I love too. And I think that if you can do that and you can do that masterfully, I think that it's just like sky's the limit on anything else. You guys want to do. Like I was floored with this project. I like, and that's why I'm just like, I'm not just with this particular project, but with y'all music as well, especially like from the stuff that I've heard from, you guys in the group and everything like that. Like I'm just like, man, I can't wait till, Phonz drop some more stuff on Spotify and SoundCloud so I can,
Trust me. We all want Phonz to drop some more music on Spotify and SoundCloud. Trust me.
See, that is the slander that I will get for
that's the Phonz slander. That's the running gag with Phonz. That he never dropped music.
Always.
But no, I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's so much in just like the metaphors and the things, because the things that they're saying, like I had this song that that I wrote called "A Star Is Born," and it's really just like it's a laid out like song of just like movie references, and it's really one of the biggest things that I wrote that just has a ton of movie references, and I have this like these lines. It's like remember when Top Gun was the #1 flick and everybody I knew was on Tom Cruise dick, and Scientology came and niggas thought he was crazy. Met that Dawson Creek lady, he started to spaz out. So now it's like it's that line to me. It's like I think people can relate to it because it's like, yeah, I remember when Tom Cruise is still a top star, but yeah, it's like remember when Tom Cruise was a top star and there was a moment in time where he started dating Katie Holmes and they got married and Pete was saying all this crazy stuff and people was like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, where did this come from? And so it's like it's what I wanted to do with that particular song was just like, we're looking at all these stars and yet, it's like we hold these stars up, but they just people and people say stupid shit from time to time. And it's like, it's not, that's kind of like the message that I kind of wanted to convey in that particular song. And when I listen to you guys' projects and Microphone Misfitz project, it's like, that's what I get as well. It's not the spitting anime bars for the sake of spitting anime bars. It's like, and don't get me wrong, it's like when people rap to rap, as long as it's good, I'll mess with it. Like, when people using metaphors and similes and all this other stuff and they just rapping just to be rapping, like I can dig it if it's good, but if it's not good, I'm just kind of like, all right, whatever, you talking too much. Like, I'm
you see, with me nowadays, it's starting to get easier for me to be able to catch a vibe with a lot of songs. Like, even if they're not being like, like if they're not like Austin, if they're not like you, if they're not like me, since a lot of us are very much in the old school ways of doing things, for me, it's like if you're able to give me a nice vibe to it, I'm cool with it. But if you just suck, like, oh my God, like,
yeah,
it's like one of those things where how you get those folks who are like, man, I could do better, but then when you hear them do better over a trash beat,
quote unquote better,
do quote unquote better,
right,
over a trash beat, over terrible, like. You hear the recording in the bathroom,
and it's hot trash.
Yes.
And it's hot trash. Nah, use the words, Hemi.
It's hot trash.
Use the words,
Hemi.
Use the words. Some
it's
hot trash.
You see,
I can name a couple names.
We don't need to name no names.
We ain't gonna name no names. But look, but understand, we know you out there and we don't like it.
Right.
But no. Pretty much, like, again, like my whole mindset, because before, one of my biggest problems was I used to have this old school, the old head mindset where, man, if this that new stuff is trash, it's this, it's that, like, bro, no, it's just different when you get used to it.
That beat is doing something other than boom and bap. I don't want it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, man, like I totally agree because I was like that. Like there was a time where I was just like, man, if I wasn't messing with anything unless it was if it wasn't underground rap, I wasn't messing with it. And I think the only mainstream person that I listen to, and I still listen to him till today, is Jay-Z. Like, so it's like, but yeah, it was like, man, if it ain't underground, I ain't messing with it. And I think just one day it was just like, man, I kind of want to listen to. I was just like, well, I want to see why certain people like certain artists or just their music and a lot of it. And I think it's like, yeah, I may not appreciate the wordplay or the way they put this, like their words together in the song, but I can appreciate the vibe and the feeling that it gives me, you know.
Right. And there's so many people that don't even do that. They're just full on haters to be haters, and you can't hate on something you don't know about.
Right.
So, you know, if you're not sitting there at least giving something an opportunity, you can't just hate on it. And that's one of the biggest things in on this anime rap topic is a lot of people who are in the same mindset that we were talking about how everything's just going to come off corny, blah, 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 blah. They won't even give it a chance, but they'll sit there and just slander left and right.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it kills me because they didn't give it the chance that we did. Like, we came into it with more of an open mind with things where it's just like, all right, let's see, how's this going to sound? How does this dude rap? How does this dude rap? Like, and again, everybody comes with a different style. Like with, heck, just naming a couple names. We have our homie Survey. We got Survey. We got Slick. We got Otaku God. We got Krissa. We got freaking who else? Just a whole bunch of different people, right?
So
a whole bunch of different styles. So many different people because Jesus Christ, everybody has their own style to it.
Right, but the beautiful part is whenever they come together and they make
it meshes so well.
It meshes so well. They take all these different like the big three project that Otaku God, Krissa, and Slick are working on. They have not missed once.
Not even close.
Shout out to Slick, Otaku God, and Krissa. You know, and they're all they're being diverse in the whole project as a whole, and they're already diverse as artists too. So you bring that into a collaborative effort in.
you just got bangers. You just got bangers after bangers after bangers.
Right. So you know.
But yeah, it's just like when you give it a chance, it's a whole different world. Like,
right.
I'm thankful that I gave it a chance back when I first came into it in March, and I'm just like, yo, I need to take a seat because God, this is a lot.
Right. And you know, I will say, ever since being introduced to like, you know, everybody from like Otaku Underworld and that I've met in Rumble World and such.
Also, shout out Otaku Underworld.
It's made me, you know, it's made me want to watch anime more, and that's the point, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that the point of like making references even beyond the mindset of anime? You have like video game rappers. You have, you know, people who make references to movies, TV shows, cartoons, etc., etc. You know, and the whole point of you expressing yourself through that culture is to spread said culture across, you know?
Exactly.
So, and I feel as though it's being very well done.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think it's just all the names that we mentioned, including you guys. I think y'all are amazing at what you guys do. And
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Yeah, man, I like I said, I can't wait to hear, because I told Phonz, I said I know he posted a new song, so I said I'm gonna listen to it either tonight or tomorrow. But you know, I'm always
that new Phonz song.
Hey, take your time with it. Take your time.
That new Phonz song, boy.
Hey, okay, so gracious self promo here. So I dropped a song called Show. Song called Show, produced by my brother Blackjacks. And this dude has been one of the main driving forces for me taking rap as serious as I do. Mm-hmm. And I've just sat back for so long listening to a lot of his beats, hearing a lot of his collaborations and stuff, and just finding my place in a lot of what he does. And so this is me finally putting a lot of the stuff that he's been doing and a lot of the stuff that I've been wanting to do to the forefront. This is just the opening to it.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to listen to it, man. And I just want to, you know, just you know, for our viewers and stuff out there, you know, check out the Phonz's music. Check out Austin's music. Matter of fact, y'all tell everybody where y'all can where they can hear y'all music and everything.
All right, well,
it's Austin first.
I'm uncreative, and you know it's Austin, but I just go by my government, Austin Stevens. You can find me on SoundCloud, Spotify, your favorite music streaming service. If I'm not on there, DM me, I'll find it. My handles for most social medias are @Stevens_music. You'll find me. I'm out here. Anywhere you can listen to music, you can listen to me. No excuses. Go check me out.
True. Check my boy out.
I put up a post on Facebook today. I was like, so everybody comment which music streaming service you use, and then a bunch of people commented, and I just left a comment. I was like, oh, so where's all your excuses for not listening to my music? Called like 20 people out.
Look,
you know I'm a fool, Phonz.
Devious. Hey, you a fool, but you a genius. You a devious genius.
I'm the pettiest if I want to be. But nah, Phonz, plug yourself.
Okay. All right. So, as y'all know, my name is actually Peace King. So a lot of my music you have to find as, Peace is regular, but the King, you have to use an exclamation point for the I, because if you don't, you're not gonna find it. So with that, you can find me on YouTube. Actually, YouTube is much different because I go under Phonzology, which is my YouTube channel where I do movie reviews with a rap twist.
Which everybody needs to check out. Actually, you know what? While we're on the topic, you two need to do a movie review.
Hey, you absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah,
hey,
most
look,
definitely.
I'm just saying.
You two need to do some work.
Look.
Movies is y'all forte. Y'all got it. Go ahead. Let me push y'all in the right direction.
I'm just saying.
Phonz know I love curating collabs and stuff.
Right. And it's funny because before you got on here, Austin, me and Phonz were talking. We was like, at some point, we all got to start collabing with each other at some point, man. Like,
oh yes. Yes, that little group chat we're in. We have some talent in there.
Hey, look, man. I'm just saying, like they pushing things to the forefront. Oh, dang, I didn't even finish, did I? So
no, promote your life.
Okay. So as I say, you can find me on YouTube, Phonzology, Instagram, Phonzology. Twitter is the weird part. So I got two of them. The main Twitter is Phonzology, but the backup Twitter, Conqueror Kane, which is Twitter where I just wild the heck out. But past that, I'm mostly active on both, but it's just, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music. I'm putting more stuff out. Don't roast me this time.
I'll be waiting.
I know. But yeah, as I was saying. And as always, take care. Peace and blessings. Y'all are absolutely amazing, everybody.
Austin.
Hey, yo, man. First of all, I want to thank Austin and Phonz for coming on here and chopping it up with me on the podcast. We, Microphone Misfitz, we love this project.
Yes, we do.
We do.
I'm a bump mine to a 4.5.
Look. I'm just saying. Would there be any way that we can collaborate on something? Like, look.
I'm telling you, man. If y'all need a home, man, y'all need some homies. Y'all want to network? Come hit me up. @Stevens_music. Find me.
I'm just saying.
Do what it do.
Right. Yeah, for real. Like we all. I'm telling you, we all.
I love collabing. It's my favorite.
Yeah, we all in this together, man, and we.
I'm telling you.
And we all in this together, man. So yeah, we all gonna have to do something together, man.
Yes, sir.
Us artists got to stick together, especially during this quarantine. It's absolute crap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. And also for everybody listening and watching and everything like that, y'all know me. I'm Kelvy. Y'all can check me out on Instagram. Kelvin_Kelvy Wilson. You can also check me out as well on IG for Kelvy, Black Cinema, and the Dope Sessions podcast. You can hear the Dope Sessions podcast on just about everywhere. I'm actually starting to put some stuff up on SoundCloud, but the Dope Sessions podcast is on Spotify, Apple, Google, damn near everywhere. And y'all can check out the Black Cinema, our first self-titled album, our second album, Darky Horror Picture Show. Just check out our music. It's everywhere. And I want to thank Phonz and Austin again for chopping it up with me on the podcast, and I will see you guys
Thank you
next
for having
time.
us.
Thanks for having us. Sauce it.
Peace.